In order to create a application on the internet, you need to be able to present your information, the content of your information, to the client, to the person who's viewing your website or your web application, and that's done using HTML. And then you need to also present it in a nice way, one that looks beautiful, one that's intuitive and allows the user to access all the different goodies on your website. And that's done using CSS. And then we need to have movement sometimes. And if navigation links slide into view, or if there's a cookie that is pulsating when you click on it, all of that is done using JavaScript. Right? And then you also need sometimes to have data stored onto a database on the server. And in order to receive data from the web application, say for instance the number of cookies that are associated with your account, you need to receive that data from on the server using PHP. And then once you have it in PHP, you can take the data, package it up, and you could send it into a database. And SQL is a programming language that allows you to put information into a database. And you could think of a database that looks something like this, just like a Excel spreadsheet, right? Where you have columns and you have data plugged into it. Each row has a unique ID, and this is how all information is stored on the internet, right? So when you log into your Facebook account, what do? They come in and they look for your username, and they check if the username you entered on the keyboard is the same, has the same password as what you entered on the keyboard. And if it does, then cool, they get all of this information and they put it onto your web page using PHP, and then they send the web page back to you, and you are able to see what all your friends are doing, right? And so that is the client-server model. We have the client here at his home working on his computer. He wants to go to Facebook, so he types in facebook.com and hits enter. The request is sent through the internet, finds its way to the Facebook web server, the computer basically that has the files that are necessary to present the client with his personalized page. The web server again receives it using PHP, sends out a request to the database, receives the information from the database using PHP, and then packages it up into a web page that it can send back to the client. And so that is a general overview of how a web application is completed, how it's constructed, and all the different technologies that are necessary. And so this person here is a full stack developer, and he needs to know HTML5, he needs to know CSS, JavaScript, PHP, and SQL. And that's what we're going to be going over these series of lessons.